So one little detail that I overlooked, we'll go ahead and save before we move on. Save scene as mug. I don't know. Maybe I didn't save it as an ASCII before. One little detail is on this thing here. What the heck? Go to Vertex. Select these vertices here across the top. Let's try to line it up here a little bit. Oh, wait, down here. We don't really have to worry about it getting close, but it needs to be going at an angle there. All right, and then we want to make these little brackety things that go on here. Object mode. I'm going to take this face here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to take both these faces and duplicate them. I'm just going to do all four at the same time. All right, so we got all those there. Now, what I want to do is go to my duplicate faces. This icon right here, it's underneath Edit Mesh if you don't have it on your shelf. Duplicate those. Go to object mode. You could pull, actually before we go, you could pull a little bit on the blue. Just kind of get them out there. Go to object mode and make sure that they're separated. Okay, they are separated. All right, cool. Let me see here. All right, go to Vertex. I'm going to select these vertices here and I'll pull them out. And then we're going to add on an edge loop, or maybe two down the middle here so we can round this over. We will scale these so that they're flat. And then we'll move them in. And then we will do like this right here. Actually, what am I doing? We won't do that. We'll just take this edge and extrude that out, holding shift. It doesn't look like it has any thickness in the original image, but we're definitely going to give it thickness. We need to make it sharper here by adding in control edges around the corner. You can see it's pretty sharp now. And it looks like it's basically straight and mine is not, so we'll try to make it straighter. Get all those. Object mode. I'll make this thicker by extruding it. You have to be in object mode to extrude the whole thing, so go to Extrude. I'm going to push on the blue, or pull on the blue. We're going to push on the blue. Don't pull on it because that's going to cause overlapping stuff to happen. Press G and do it again. Now this is turned black because it's inside out. So go to object mode and click on it, and then you want to go up to Mesh Display Reverse. This is on my shelf. It's right here. It's not going to be, I don't think it's on the standard shelf, so you'd have to have a custom shelf for it. And then we want to take maybe this edge here. All right, so we got a pretty good version of this thing. I'm going to go to object mode. I'm going to delete the back faces off of it. Maybe thinking why is it's kind of seems like unnecessary because this isn't a very complicated model. But the reason I'm doing it is to sharpen up the back, this interior part here. Pull that out a little bit because it's overlapping here. If we press 1, you can see it's overlapping. This here. Just kind of clean this up so that none of that stuff is overlapping. So you see how the edges flow through the middle there. And then we can put this into, we didn't need to duplicate all of these parts. As you can see, it's not really as sharp as it should be here. Add one on, and then do anything to sharpen it up. We could make these tighter. I don't know if that's going to give me what I want. It's close. The closer you get, the better in this case, but there you go. All right. So we have this one here, and we could add little screws to it. Those are just going to be like a rivet, so we can just duplicate a rivet. Let's center the pivot on this, center. Duplicate it out, scale it down. Rotate it over. And then duplicate this one here. So the center pivot, I said center the pivot on the rivet if you haven't figured that out yet. It's under edit mesh. If it's not on your shelf, then you want to add it to your shelf. So this right here, we got all three of these pieces. It's pretty good. Let's smooth this out since it's supposed to be smooth in the end. I'm going to press Control G to group this and center its pivot, modify center pivot, and then I'm going to move this into place so it attaches there pretty well. And then I'm going to, I don't need this face, so I'm going to delete it. I don't need these other faces here either, I don't think. I was going to make another little bracket thing out of it and you know, move them around. I'll just use this one. Okay, so when you have your group, if you select one of the objects in your group, any one of the objects, you can press up arrow, the up arrow on your keyboard, and it'll go to the group. If you have a group within a group, you have to press up arrow more than once, but this is only one group. So with this, I'm going to hold Shift and click and drag to duplicate the group. We'll move it down here. We can move it out, get it positioned, you know, correctly so that it will attach this handle to my mug. And this one here might be actually smaller. We can always just scale this smaller. If we're going to be able to see into here, like right here, that opening, we don't want that. We're going to want to scale it a little bit shorter so we can't see into it. We can from that angle. All right, so let's go press up arrow, and we'll try to duplicate this over. If we duplicate this, Control D to duplicate it, just press Control D, and then if you scale it -1 on Z, now it's duplicated, but we have to rotate it. That's the problem. There. And then we can just hold Shift and duplicate it up by moving it. And it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up, but it should be pretty close. And this one here is smaller. We made this one smaller, so we might want to scale this taller again. Just kind of get to match with that one there. And that's the mug. We are done. We finished it. Make sure you check it for N-Gon. So we'll come in here and I'll select everything. Go to Face. Go to Select, Use Constraints. All in Next. And you know what I didn't do, did I? I did not click on the correct icon. Instead, there's 0 on that part. Let's close this and reset it. Go to Object Mode. We'll select everything. Make sure you click on the little icon here to go to component mode for all of your objects. And then we're already on Face, so go to Select, Use Constraints. All and Next and Sided, and we have zeros. We're good there. We did it. We made the mug in all of its glory. And the next video is a bonus video. If you want to, you can go in and make the foam. I don't expect you to do that for the midterm though.